good shot. Oh my!
You can celebrate Georgetown! The Georgetown Raiders are Buckland Cup champions!
The Trenton Golden Hawks, the R.W. Cup champions, are going to Coburn.
Back to Minerva. Shot scores! And the Coburn Cougars are the Royal Bank Cup champions!
Evans bumping, they score! Frank Poche, the game winner, and the Buckland Cup winner!
Well, it's a new dawn for the Ontario Junior Hockey League. The first of 6 nationally televised games on CHCH TV went down in Whitby recently, and we've got all the highlights coming up. This is the OJ Today. Welcome back. Hope everybody had a fantastic holiday season. Well, this week, Ron Valentine, one of our talented writers for OJHL.ca, is going to join me to discuss what transactions have recently taken place and what teams will be looking for in the lead up to the fast approaching trade deadline. But first, OJ highlights. And after months of planning, the first nationally broadcast OJHL game on CHCH television took place over the Christmas break. Now, it's the first of 6 that will be shown over the next 2 months. And to kick things off, it was the Whitby Fury hosting the Lindsay Muskies. OJ highlights now, brought to you by Hilton Hotels. Hilton, the official hotel of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. It was a special day for many reasons in Whitby that Saturday as the Fury took on the Muskies. Tri-Light Television there to provide the production muscle as the league embarked on the first of 6 games on CHCH TV. The true highlight of the day, though, was Harper Friel. The beautiful 4-year-old has been battling cancer, and the Whitby Fury held a fundraiser that day to help her and her family. We'll have more on that in just a minute. The Fury break the ice, 6:20 in. Shane Bull for Carson Gallagher as he heads to the net with his stick on the ice. And you know what they say, good things happen when you do that. 1-0 for Whitby soon after. Beautiful centering pass, and Noah Bull, the other half of the Bull dynasty, makes no mistake, and he puts the Fury up by a 2-0 count. And the Muskies managed to cut that deficit in half, however. Luke Pearson making the nice initial stop there. Matthew Hebert right there to bang home the rebound. And Lindsay alive and kicking, down 2-1. But the Fury hit right back. Nicholas Papadopoulos gets tip to puck in front. Sweet redirection. And the lead was back up to 2 goals. And then just before the intermission, Whitby on the PP. Gallagher notches his second of the game, and he makes it 4-1 at the break. Second period was the Dakota Betts show as the D-man rips it past Dean Buchholz right there to make it 5-1. The 16-year-old is headed to UMass on a scholarship, and the CGHL Top Prospects game later on this month as well, and Betts continues to have the hot stick. 3 minutes later, deposits the Carson Gallagher pass to make it 6-1 for the Fury. Final stanza, they complete the route. One of the plays of the year here. Ian McKinnon through the legs to Derek McVeigh. Take another look at this one. Cheeky. And McVeigh continues his hot play since being traded to them from the Georgetown Raiders. One more. Betts feeds Papadopoulos for his second of the day. Lots of Whitby players padding their stats as they cruise to the 8-1 win over the last place Lindsay Muskies. But it was a special day, as mentioned, the first CHCH national broadcast, and more importantly, hats off to the Whitby Fury, who raised almost $20,000 for Harper Friel in her battle against cancer. Great job by the franchise. Okay, the Battle of Halton Region renewed. Oakville beat Georgetown 4-1 the night before, so the Raiders were looking for revenge. Not on this night. 11:35 in. Holden Doggett from Spencer Kirsten. He makes it 1-0 Blades. Second stanza, they come close to making it 2 as Thomas Maya slides it through Nathan Torquia, but Torx manages to get down just in time to smother it. No goal. Soon after, Oakville applying all kinds of pressure, G-Town scrambling, and finally, Josh Nixon, the former Raider, burns his old team, and how good does that feel? Makes it 2-0 Blades. Final 20, Raiders make a game of it. Jake Payette just sitting out front. Yeah, good luck moving him. 6'7", he's going nowhere. he doesn't want to go. The big oak tree puts it home. He makes it just a 1-goal deficit. And they had their chances to tie it. Darren Tilley, golden opportunity out front. Can't get good wood on it, though, or good composite, whatever you want to call it these days. Not enough stick. Anyways, the Blades hold on to take it 3-1. They're now 3-0 against Georgetown this year. Okay, OJ commitments brought to you by Warrior Hockey. Warrior, official partner of both the OJHL Game of the Week and the OJ Today. And Jason Pinio, captain of the Junior Canadians, is going to be a Niagara Purple Eagle as the forward committed to the NCAA Division I University recently, and he will attend next season. Pinio has been outstanding for the JRCs this year with 40 points in 38 games, good for second on the team in scoring. Congratulations, Jason. OJ Trivia for this week brought to you by Cool Sports. Cool, the official apparel provider to the OJHL. And the question is, who is the highest ranked former OJHL player for the 2019 NHL Draft? I'll give you a hint. It's pretty high. First correct answer to R. Morocco at theojhl.ca wins. This segment of the OJ Today is brought to you by Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar, the official energy bar of the OJHL. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, the crazy battle for supremacy out east continues. Cobourg, Whitby, and Trenton all sit within 3 points of one another, making each divisional matchup that much more intense. Now, the Cougars had pulled slightly ahead of the pack for the time being, but the Fury could draw even with a win last Saturday on the road. These two squads have battled tooth and nail over top spot in the East all season long, and it's the visitors that draw first blood. Brett Benham tips it past Dershan Stewart. Fury leading by a 1-0 count. Last minute of the first, though, George Mahanda with the redirection of his own. He beats Luke Pearson, and all tied up at 1 apiece after 20 minutes of play. Second frame, Cougars on the power play here. Riley McCutcheon spots Jamie Engelbert out front. Boom. Cobourg got its first lead of the game. 2 minutes later, Colton Cianci off to the races. 1-on-1 with Luke Pearson, and Cianci wins the battle. And the Cougs have a bit of padding, up by a 2-goal count now. Whitby not going down that easy, though. Ian McKinnon continuing his strong play, ripping it past Stewart to pull the Fury back to within 1. Not enough on this day, however, as the Cougars win the divisional showdown and hold on to their slim lead at the top of the East. Okay, Brampton is involved in a battle with Burlington for third in the West, and they needed 2 points against Stouffville. The Spirit jump on top early, though, and I mean early. The ice virtually untouched. 34 seconds in, 1-zip Spirit. Second stanza, the Admirals draw even. Max Cole pokes it past Andrew Vigliatore, and it's a 1-1 hockey game, and they were tied for all of 51 seconds. Charlie DeFonseca, sweet no-look pass for Charlie Jeans, and he makes it 2-1 for the Spirit. Back and forth they went. Dan Burno takes the feed out front, and he beats the keeper to make it 2-2. $1:30 later, Burno does it once again as he gets the tip on it out front, and in it goes. And that would prove to be the game winner. No scoring in the third as the Admirals hold on for the big 2 points with the win. Well, Rogers Hometown Hockey has made several stops in OJHL centers recently. Burlington and Aurora both hosted festivities earlier this season, and Mississauga was next on the list as the Chargers took on the Markham Royals over the holidays at Port Credit Arena. It was a big game for Markham, who was trying to catch Aurora for first in the North Division. Before the contest, Hometown Hockey co-host Tara Sloan there to drop the puck for the ceremonial opening face-off, along with Lloyd Stockley and Tony Clark. of the Chargers. And Mississauga had a great game, actually. Just $1.44 in. Great work by Kyle Lewis to set up Lucatellis out front. And the Chargers go up by a 1-0 count. 7 minutes later, though, Matt Hyami gets a stick on it out front to deflect the rubber past Jack Irvine, and all knotted up at 1 apiece. It was a bittersweet game for Brandon Yeamans, who was playing in his last contest as a Charger before being traded to North York. He went out with a bang, notching 3 points, and he makes it 2-1 there with the tip. Then it was Lucas Kells getting in the act. Bits of a muffin there past Andrew Albano as he makes it 3-1 for the Chargers after 20. The Royals managed to get one back in the second, though. Nick Junta going hard to the net, and he was pumped. He pulls Markham back to within a single marker. Third stanza, mad scramble out front of the Chargers net. This thing seems to go on forever, and then finally it's Junta again. Nick knots it up at 3 apiece with his second of the contest. Sweet solo effort here by Kyle Lewis, though, as he will find daylight past Andrew Albano over the shoulder to put the Chargers back on top. And he had a pretty good cheering section there on the day, as well, as his boys were absolutely loving it. Saga leading by a 4-3 count. Chargers nearly made it 5. Check out the moves by Yeamans. They're going to miss him, boy. All kinds of pressure on Albano, but he manages to hold the fort for now. Finally, though, dying seconds, cage empty. Lewis will put it into the empty net to guarantee the Chargers win, as the Royals drop a valuable 2 points as they continue to chase Aurora for first place in the North. Okay, this week's alumni update brought to you by Troy Hockey. Troy, the official jersey of the Ontario Junior Hockey League. And 6 OJ alumni won silver at the Spangler for Canada. Dominic Moore, Daniel Winnick, Daniel Vukovic, Chris DiDomenico, Kyle Quincy, and Kevin Bieksa, going down in heartbreaking fashion in a shootout in a final, but great job, guys. He did Canada proud. A reminder, the Scotiabank fan favorites. Voting is commenced once again. The award has been a league tradition since the 2011-12 season. Here's the top 5 right now in no particular order. Alex Dimovsky, Robert McCollum, Tiger McDonald, Marcelo Pericao, and Dershan Stewart. One player will win the overall title in the voting, but in a twist this year, there will also be one favorite for each of the 22 OJHL teams as well. Last year, nearly 84,000 votes were cast, which is a record. You can vote up until the 15th of February, so get on there and vote. A reminder, broadcast schedule on CHCH. The next game is January 26th, North York against the Canadians. Some great matchups there, though. Burlington and Oakville, Kingston, Wellington, Pickering, Aurora, Trenton, and Cobourg. It's going to be great. This week's OJ interview brought to you by Barnburner Hockey. Barnburner, official partner of the OJHL Game of the Week and the OJ Today. Hey everybody, welcome back to the OJ Today, and joining me now to do a little pre-trade deadline gabbing and gossiping is fantastic writer for OJHL.ca, Mr. Ron Valentine. Joining me for the first time this year. Ron, happy holidays, buddy, and thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me back, Alex, and I hope you had a good Christmas.
I did, and it's right back into the swing of things with the OJHL. So much going on, buddy. Let's start with some transactions that have happened here. We talked about for some time about if Brandon Yeamans would be traded. There was some doubt of whether he would be or not, but he was over the Christmas break. Definitely one of the most impactful guys who will be moved. The Chargers traded him to the Rangers. What are your thoughts on that move?
It's a big plus for the Rangers, Alex. You've got a veteran forward. He's had OJ experience. He's a captain, he's a leader, he can score goals, he's a sniper. And I think North York really needs that extra scoring. And I talked to him actually since the trade, and he got 3 points in his first game. And he loves the Rangers dressing room. He loves the leadership there. And I think that's going to be a big plus for them going forward for sure.
They do have a great group of guys, a leadership group with Maziarz and Kruger and Gottschalk as captain have been absolutely amazing this year. The Rangers had been active before the deadline, though, as well, like earlier in the season, already acquiring veteran Jonathan Hampton from Georgetown in early December. What are you looking at, though, from the teams out east? What moves will they be looking to make, if any? Are they trying to keep up in the arms race? Do they need to? What are your thoughts on the East?
You know, Alex, it's so close that they're the beasts of the East again this year. Yeah. Trenton would love to get a goal scorer. I know that. Stephen Elliott's been on the sidelines, and he's been very productive for them. No team doesn't want to make a move. I don't think any team can't get stronger by making a move. Coburg, if there's a couple of pieces there, they would certainly not hesitate making a move. And Whitby, of course, now it's hard to score on Whitby, but again, you come back down to if they had a little bit of additional scoring, that would really help them as they push toward the top. And Alex, you can't rule out Kingston and you can't rule out the Dukes because they've both got excellent goalies, Mazanko and Lafreniere.
Of course, we saw what Wellington did with those Junior B call-ups last year. We won't discount that as well. Possibly happening again this year because that's one of the things that led them to the Buckland Cup final and championship last year, as we know. Oakville wouldn't have to face North York or any team from the East, of course, unless they make it all the way to the Buckland Cup final. The Blades did some minor tinkering. They acquired Josh Nixon from the Raiders. But do you see Oakville making any more big moves, or is it a case of really not wanting to mess with a good thing in Oakville right now?
Alex, no doubt about it, Nixon is a massive plus. I've seen a couple of games he's played. He loves that big ice. Skating is his forte, and he really is making a big difference for Oakville. I talked to Mike Tarantino. He's got some cards left. He can sign actually 2 players without losing anybody. He's not up to the 23 level mark. He's at 21 right now. So he would not hesitate on making any moves. They do have a great leadership group, and that's one thing you have to be careful of. And the Blades could go a long way as long as they can avoid Burlington. The Cougars seem to have their number this year. And talking about the Cougars briefly, Matt Dunsmore is up with the OHL in Mississauga. And if he doesn't come back, if he's gone for a long time, they will be in the market for a goalie, no question about that.
They've definitely had Oakville's numbers so far this year. Is it 2 wins at least? 2 times they've beaten the Blades so far. Is it possibly 3 run? I
think 3 games, and Oakville's got 1 point of the 3 games.
Amazing statistic, no question. Aurora, things have been a bit rough lately, getting blown out in a few contests. They flipped Jack Irvine to the Chargers for Luca Durante in exchange of goalkeepers. What's your sense of the situation in Tigerland, and will they make more deals as they try to hold off Markham and Newmarket down the stretch?
I think they're looking at one more deal. They've got Durante because of his experience. He's arguably, from the Aurora side, they feel he's one of the best, if not the best, goalkeepers in the league. He's got the credentials, he's got the pedigree, of course, with his brother Stefano being in the league before. And they've just now got one more card they can use, I think, and they're going to make the most of that they can. And they really feel now, if they can get that home record straightened out, and they've been struggling at home, but better to struggle at home on the road. They can probably easily get that fixed much more quickly anyway. So
losing Kyle Ballers to the Oshawa Generals of the OHL really hurt their scoring. Of course, Mitzi's been unbelievable all season long, but there's a big drop-off between first in scoring and second on that team. No question, losing Ballers has been difficult. But finally, the crossover spot between the West and the North, getting more interesting day by day. For a while, it looked like it was going to be grabbed by a West squad, but now Pickering has upped its game a bit. They look like they could possibly hold on to it. Do you get the sense that the Panthers, the Raiders, or even the 99ers could pull the trigger on anything?
The Panthers are leaving it late. They've got 2 big wins. I'm sure they're not giving up on it. They haven't had a full team. They've had injury problems. They've got players that people want, but they also want to make a run themselves. So I can see the Panthers being involved in this mix. Georgetown, the trades they've made have not worked too well for them so far, but that's not to say that they're going to be out of the trading market. And there's a sniper playing for Brantford, Brian Zarowski. He used to play for the Buffalo Junior Sabres. And a lot of teams are looking for goal scoring. There's a natural goal scorer if they're willing to let him go. Brampton is another team too that's been stuck with injuries. Hudson Lambert is back for them now, their captain. And they might just need a couple of pieces going forward as well.
Really great stuff for them getting Hudson Lambert back, who's been one of the best team men in the league all year. We've got to fly, Ron, but we are going to have you back on for an actual recap of the trade deadline after December 10th. You'll join us, correct?
And then we'll find out what really happens. Yeah,
exactly.
I'd be glad to do that, Alex.
Actually,
yes,
sorry, I meant January 10th, of course. December's in the rearview window. Let's leave it there. Ron, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Alex.
Okay, more OJ Today coming up in just a moment. Hey folks, welcome back to the OJ Today. Well, this was supposed to be a season in which the Pickering Panthers continued their rise up the OJHL standings. Last year, the Cats were one of the most improved teams in the league, and in the process, made the playoffs for the first time since 2014. But things haven't quite gone to plan as the Panthers stumbled out of the gate early. Lately, though, they've been upping their game and are within striking distance of a postseason berth once again. So 2 points against a last-place Stouffville Spirit squad were a necessity. The Spirit are last place in the North, but they've proved to be a fly in the ointment for many teams this year, pulling off some big wins. They get the party started, 12:39 in. Charlie DeFonseca makes it 1-0. With 0.7 seconds left in the period, however, Pickering draws even. It's the Gooch. Nathan tying it up at 1 apiece. Second frame, all Stouffville. Ian Lemieux looking like Mario there. Gorgeous rush. Spirit back on top, 2-1. 4 minutes later, the original stop is made. DeFonseca right there, though, to nab his second, make it a 2-goal bulge. Third period, Panthers making a game of it. Kevin Stiles pulls the trigger, beats Damon Beaver, and it's back to a 1-goal game. Sweet passing here by Stouffville, though. Tic-tac-toe, Kostamanikis. The finish, and a bit of insurance for the Spirit. They would need it because late in the period, Nick Prestia bulges the twine to get the Panthers back to within a goal. Not enough on this day, though. Spirit put a wrench in Pickering's hope for a guaranteed playoff spot with a 4-3 win. The Rangers playing their first game with new acquisition Brandon Yeamans. They're going to be a force. The JRCs can attest to that. 4:40 in, Joey Maziar's gorgeous stretch pass to Jonathan Hampton. He makes it 1-0. 8 minutes later, Nick Lashuk just barrels his way into the net like a Mack truck. Nice solo effort. It's 2-0 NYR. Second frame, Canadians grabbing one back. Jet Alexander, just a bit lackadaisical behind his own net. Serves it up. O'Brien with the marker. Rangers would make it 3-1 though, and then a nice one. Ross Krieger, Tyler Flack, back and forth. Flack with the finish. Rangers padding their lead even more. And then Yeamans shows just why the Rangers wanted him so badly, turning Anthony Messina inside out, bulging the twine. Quite the start for number 91, who picks up 3 points in his North York debut to lead the Rangers to a 6-1 spanking of the JRCs. They're going to be a terror for the opposition down the stretch. Brandon's former team, Mississauga, taking on the Patriots. No scoring in the first, so we pick it up in the second. Brett Bannister puts it past the recently acquired Jack Irvine. And then 3 minutes later, one of the plays of the week, Dante Spaniolo shredding the Mississauga defense. He makes it 2-0 TO. Third period, the Chargers draw closer. Kyle Lewis with a shot. It just kind of skips off Lucatellis to cut the lead to 2-1, but Paul Spadafora gets the empty netter with just over a minute left to ensure the Pats win as they take it 3-1. Okay, one more for you. Oakville visiting Newmarket. It was the first period from hell for the Hurricanes. 5:34 in. Spencer Kirsten out front to Kyle Potts, and it's 1-0 Blades. 3 minutes later, tic-tac-toe passing. Potts gets his second of the contest, and it's 2-0. They were just making it look so easy. Ryan Nicholson, one-timer. Pass Mitchell Weeks. And that makes it a 3-goal bulge. This pretty much summed up the Canes' opening period. Sheldon Nolan coughing it up for Thomas Maya. Newmarket just didn't look into it. 4-0 after one. Second frame, the Canes. Showing signs of life. Graham McCrory, the tip out front, so they get a quick one back. Newmarket's on the board finally. Christian Hufsky in goal for the Canes at the other end now. Makes the initial stop. Peyton Reeves knocking home the rebound to make it 5-1 though. Nolan makes up for the earlier gaffe by ripping one past Will Barber. And the teams would trade goals in the third period as the Blades hold on with a commanding 6-3 win over the Hurricanes. Okay, OJ standings now brought to you by Jostens, the official ring and awards provider to the OJHL. And in the West, Oakville still with a comfortable lead over second place Buffalo. Burlington and Brampton in a big battle there for third place. In the North, Aurora. It's a lot tighter now as Newmarket and Markham have made up a lot of space on them. Pickering and Stouffville rounding out the division. In the South, North York, big lead over the Canadians, followed by the Pats, who have overtaken St. Mike's briefly, and the Chargers. And in the East, Cobourg, Whitby, Trenton. That's an epic battle they've got going on there, followed by the Dukes, the V's, and the Lindsay Muskies. Okay, this week's top 5 brought to you by Chaos, the official hat provider to the Ontario Junior Hockey League. Number 5, Cobourg's Colton Cianci, one-on-one with Whitby's Luke Pearson, and Colton wins that battle, and that proved to be the game winner. Number 4, how many times have we seen this? Joey Maziar's gorgeous stretch pass. John Hampton providing the finish as the Rangers blow out the JRC 6-1. Number 3, same game. New acquisition Brandon Yeaman showing why North York picked him up. 6 skills as he scores his first as a Ranger. Number 2, Dante's Inferno as Spaniolo absolutely shreds the Mississauga Chargers and finishes it off. And number 1, on the CHCH Game of the Week, Ian McKinnon, Sean Brightly. Between the legs, no look pass here for Derek McVeigh. This was just unfair as the Fury beat the Muskies 8-1. Incredible move, and that is our Chaos Play of the Week. And that's all the time we've got for today. Just remember, though, to keep up to date with the league, you can always head to OGHL.ca. And, of course, all of your social media options right there for you to check out as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.